So 2023 is almost over. Literally just a few days left as I'm recording this video, and even fewer by the time I'll post it. So I wanted to share my 3 biggest life lessons that I learned this year, where I want to grow in that area into 2024, and how that might be valuable for you to consider moving into in 2024 as well. Number 1 is you can't be liked by everyone. So this should be pretty obvious to most of us in theory at least, but I've really had to experience it to internalize it. As someone who is definitely more of a people pleaser, this has been a serious battle this year. Between coming out in the open with my deconversion and my deconstruction, and the time that I've spent in the online space supporting Ukraine here, TikTok, and Twitter, I have encountered a lot of people who do not like me, who think that I am wrong, who say pretty gnarly, hateful, and personal things to me to try and get under my skin. And I'm not going to say that it never bothers me anymore. Sometimes people hit that right trigger and it hurts. They press that right button and it stings. But I am building that thicker skin little by little, and I've done a lot of that this year. But even more than that, I'm starting to have to accept that I don't have to be liked by everyone, and that could be a good thing. Someone who's liked by everyone isn't standing up for anything. They're molding themselves to everyone around them. They have no true identity. And so this year I've embraced that if I want to make an impact in the world, not everyone will be on board with that mission. And people will come against me, and they are going to be hostile sometimes, and that's okay. To an extent, that's the easy part. If people who support Russia's invasion of Ukraine dislike me, there's a level that it's like easy to say, well, fuck them. They're wrong. Let them hate me. Or even when Christians decide to mischaracterize me, that's easy enough to brush off. Although, I'll admit this one can be a little bit harder because I know that they aren't straight, pure evil, as I used to be one, and I understand that kind of thinking. So going forward into 2024, I want to grow into being okay with not being liked, even by the people that I want to like me, making the right decisions even if they're unpopular with people who I want to love me and care about me. I have a huge problem saying no to people that I love and respect on anything because I want to be liked and loved by them, and I don't want to risk rejection or creating waves because I refuse something. But I know that to fully embrace who I am, my power, my purpose, I have to make great strides in this area in 2024. And I know that will be a far harder fight than building up the resilience to just deal with hateful people online, because there's actually something much deeper at stake. There's relationships, there's belonging, and there's love, all of them that I could be risking. And I haven't shared my atheism with most people in my personal life. I still can do that fake Christian persona well enough to get by. But to be my true authentic self, I don't want to do that. But the reality is, I could and likely will lose some people if they know the truth. And if I start setting boundaries with people, saying what I want and what I need, I could lose them. But if I don't, my life is going to be run by everyone except me. So in 2024, my goal is to really stretch that muscle, to say no, to be more of who I am, and to start living my life more on my terms, no matter what anyone inside or outside my circle thinks of me. And I really recommend that you do the same. And number 2 is you have to take care of yourself first in order to help anyone else. This is really in a parallel vein to the last point, that I've really come to accept that I have to take care of myself first before I have anything to pour out in support of others. That's the reality. I have to take care of my physical, spiritual, and emotional health before I can pour into anyone else, before I can support the causes that I care about, before I can be there for anyone else. I need to show up for myself. Before I can be sustainably generous, I have to be financially secure. If I have no money, I can't support or give to anyone. And that's a problem I run into this year. And the lesson, it's really been learned the hard way. In 2023, I made a lot of these mistakes. I overextended myself. I pushed myself so hard financially in being generous that I have done like really massive damage to my finances. I supported causes that I believed in too much, be that financially or with my time, so that I didn't earn money that I needed to survive. I donated time when maybe I should have charged, and I destroyed my savings. I'm in debt, and I'm struggling to pull myself out of the mess. You know, it was for all the right reasons, but I still destroyed myself because I didn't take care of me first. If I'd chosen to take care of myself and my finances first, I could have given what was possible out of abundance instead of having suddenly nothing to give because I'm in poverty. And like, it's a mistake that I've learned like really freaking painfully. And like, it's the same story with my health, in volunteering, in worrying, stressing, in creating content for causes that I care about. I burned myself out. In stressing for people that I love who are in danger in Ukraine, in focusing on their needs, I neglected rest. I neglected activities that recharge me. I neglected filling myself up. So now I'm exhausted. You can probably see it in my eyes. I'm burned out. I didn't take the time to build out a good fitness regimen, to get good sleep, to take care of my mental health. And I'm completely burned out, non-creative, and I don't even know if I really accomplished that much by it all. So, of course, for 2024, my goal will be to take this knowledge that I've learned really painfully and implement it. You know, only give within my means, even practice not giving for a time to allow myself to really rebuild and break the habit of giving more than I should. You know, I'll be working on building in more times of rest, making sure that I'm eating right, sleeping enough, exercising, and recharging mentally. You know, I'll moderate the work that I do so that I am not burned out and feeling like I just want to collapse all the time. And of course, I recommend that you do the same, hopefully without having made all of the mistakes that I have made. And number 3 is be careful who you let into your inner circle. This lesson is a little bit different, but it also feeds into the last 2 lessons. Be careful who you let into your circle, who you trust, who you listen to, and who you let influence you. This, you know, should go without saying, but it's really something to pay attention to. Over the last year, I had some relationships that I thought were good, solid, and adding to my life. But I came to realize they were not. They were creating incredible amounts of stress for me. They weren't letting me take care of myself first. And I was keeping them in my life because I was afraid of being viewed as the villain if I walked away from those relationships. I was afraid of not being liked by people that I cared about. I was afraid of losing people who have been in my life for years. I was scared how my life might look if these people were suddenly gone. But they were a drain on me, and they left me feeling angry, stressed, depressed, hopeless. They fed into choices of mine that were not in favor of taking care of myself. They led me into a place of despair a few times, like really bad despair, where I wasn't sure if I wanted to live. And so I cut them off. And it was, in one case, very clean, even if it was a little painful. And the other, it was ugly, it was gnarly, it was not a super straightforward process. They kept trying to come back into my life. They kept being pretty vicious about it, and it was not good. But going into 2024, I want to maintain that strength to have them stay out of my life, as well as other people who are toxic. And I want to be much more aware and mindful of who I let into my circle, because who you let in has such a significant impact on your success or failure. If people are constantly diverting your attention and your money from your goals, or they're tearing you down, or they're just not in alignment, it can be really, really harmful to you going where you want to go. I look back at 2023 and I have a lot of regret at the lost time, lost finances, and the lost potential that I could have had if I'd let some people go a lot sooner and just accepted that it would hurt and it would be messy and it would be ugly, but it wouldn't hurt near as much as losing all of the time, focus, energy, and money that is now gone because I left these people in my life. This year has really been one of a lot of painful lessons, and going into 2024, I'll be working to grow and continue in life changes based on these lessons. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight to make a better future for myself, and through that, a better future in general for the planet. Now, I strongly recommend, you guys take these lessons on without having to make all of the mistakes that I have made. Please don't go through all the mistakes that I have made. It is not worth the pain. Let me know in the comments what you learned in 2023 that you want to take forward into 2024. Have a great day and a fantastic year.